All right, people. Welcome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about probability here. So this is something we haven't talked about this year at all. You probably saw it in previous years. Probability is a fraction. It's a number that shows you how likely something is. All right. And so the basic idea is you take what's called the event, which is what you want to happen, um, and you make a fraction where that's in the numerator, and the denominator is all the possibilities, right? So here's some great pictures I really like. If you look at this guy up here, um, you can see we have rolling dice, right? So what's the chance that you roll a 3 when you have one die and you roll it? What's the chance that you get a 3? Well, there's one way to get a 3, 3 dots, and there's 6 possibilities on the dice because there's 6 sides. So there's one way to get what you want, a 3 out of 6 possibilities. That's the fraction 1/6. So that's probability right there. It's a 1 out of 6 chance, 1/6. Okay. If you divide 1 divided by 6, you will get, let me write this right here. You will also get the decimal. 1/6 equals, let me write it on here. Zoom in. Woo, excuse me. No, that's not working. Let me see. I'm still trying to learn how to do this Jamboard thing, so give me a second. How do I zoom in? Oh, there we go. I like it. So let me see. Let's try this. Let me do a marker in this color. See how this goes. All right. So if you do that in a calculator, 1 divided by 6, you get 0.1666. Those are all sixes, by the way. 66666. And that's, if you look at this as a percentage, it's right here, 16%, because that's the hundredths place, and it has sixes afterwards. So that's why it's 16.6%. It's a pretty low percentage. 100% is all the time. 16% is low. This guy is Saturday, Sunday, which is weekends. So what is the probability if I picked a random day of the week? It would be a weekend day. Well, 2 out of 7, because there's 7 days of the week. Saturday and Sunday is the weekend. So 2/7. It's a 28.5% chance. Again, if I did 2 divided by 7, the probability would have been the value 0.285, which is the same as 28.5%. Because remember, it's 28 hundredths right there. And there's my hundredths place. If I have a bucket full of marbles and there's 5 red marbles and 11 white ones and 4 blue ones, so there's a total of 20 marbles, 5 of which are red, what's the chance if I put my hand in the bucket of marbles and I pick one out that it's going to be a red marble? Well, there's 5 different red marbles possible that I could have gotten. There's 20 marbles in the bag. So 5 out of 20, if you simplify that, divide by 5, it ends up being 1/4. And 1 divided by 4 is 0.25 or 25%, right? So this is what probability is basically, and that's the basic work we're doing. Now, the other thing you can do is, in today's lesson, let me zoom this back out for a minute. You can say, what's the probability, that's the letter P, of something not happening. So I can say, what's the probability of, let's say, not red, right? In this last guy right down here. Well, what's the probability that I'm not red? Well, I know 5 choices are red out of the 20. So all I got to do is 20 minus the 5. There's 15 marbles that are not red out of 20. So that's going to be 3/4 is the probability, or 0.75 or 75%. Oops. So you can also do probabilities of other things like that. Let me give you another example right here. So actually, this is just something I want you to know. Probability is that fraction or decimal or percentage between 0 and 1, 1 being 100%, right? Or 1.00. Or you could say 5 out of 5. If it's a fraction, it's all, it's always possible. So if you have a probability of 1, it's always happening. Probability of 0 means it's impossible. Coins, when you flip them, have a 50-50 chance, right? Half tails. We talked about the dice right here having 1 out of 6 chance. So this is, the lower your number is, and probably like 0.1 would be like down here, would be a pretty low chance of something happening. The higher your fraction or decimal amount, the closer it is to the number 1, is closer to 100%. It's definitely going to happen, or more likely to happen. So here's a picture I took of my hand. So you could ask the probability of all sorts of things, right? So I could ask the probability of blue, right? Which would be 4 out of 10 equals 4 to 10, or 40%, 0.4. It's the same thing as 40%. Oops, 0.4, 40%. But I can also ask the probability of any sort of thing I want. Like I could say not green. All right, probably that I'm not green. Well, if there's 10 different guys here, would be there's a 9 out of 10 chance, right? Which is if you divide that, it's 0.9 or 90%. Ooh, it's kind of hard for me right here. So that's probability in a nutshell. That should get you pretty far for this week, and next week we'll go a little deeper. All right. I hope that was helpful. Take care.